Hello everyone, I'm Coyote Jack, and well, I'm going to tell you this, and it's even related to this globalist nonsense. One key part in this case, since I want to talk to you, well, excuse me, I want to talk to you about the racing genre, racing video games, the part where now it's far more trending, and we have seen that with you will own nothing and you will be happy about it. First, we need to shit on this fucking release that it went so fucking unnoticed by a lot of people because, well, some other companies and games took the spotlight in what it is the who can get shittier over the course of this year. So, for context, I already ranted about this drive. Um, in case you don't know, well, this was a franchise that once was published by Atari. And with this company, I don't remember its name. To be honest, I never played it, but I saw good stuff from them to the point that even modders revived the online for the previous entry of Solar Crown, which already happened like almost a decade ago. Test Drive to Unlimited, they revived the online component. And it was all involved about a lifestyle of cars, which is great, even if you're not focusing on racing, but well, you're focused on the lifestyle. I mean, that's okay. At least you are still referring to cars, to car enthusiasts. And when we search from this blog, Test Drive released a promo 2 years ago, 1 year ago. Test Drive Unlimited Soulcast gets delayed again to 24. 10 months. Test Drive Unlimited Cross gets overview trailer. Then get a new exploration gameplay. And then gets release date in September. And I pointed out during the pre-orders on Steam, they were charging you for early access. The gold edition, they charge you for an early access. And sadly, yeah, niche gamer in this case, they didn't say something about the main issue yet. That that shit of a product, because it's a shittier product, is a live service. And that's one of the keys that one of the globalist nonsense that they push is you will own nothing and you will be happy about it. We saw that with that 2013 or 14, I don't remember, the crew. The crew when it got delisted and the servers got shut down. Well, the game was built about the concept of a MMO. And of course, since we're talking about boogie shit, everyone that had the game lost access to it, and even they were as far as removing it from the digital libraries from users. And I have to remind people during the lifetime of fucking the crew, while it was a Lloyd service, they were charging for DLC in form of cars and some quote unquote expansion. And again, the game didn't have the good physics, and I played that, and I really was just fucking pissed that it wasted my time. It had all the wrong concept, or should I say, the most greediest concept built around that game, because yeah, it had microtransactions. It had the same RPG nonsense of progression. The cars, it was you were just driving the same fucking car. Not substantial reaction with the physics of the suspension, the speed, and since the performance progression was built about grinding races to receive some random RNG piece of performance to put your car in a certain stat, well, you could copy those stats to other car, you could drive it and feel it's the same shit. The gaming was just everything wrong with racing video games and the industry as a whole. And well, it came from Ubisoft. And when going back to test drive, it's the same shit. They say that there is a lot of content salvageable, but it all just goes down the drain. Where, well, live service, the early access didn't work, so they charged money to people for something that was not there. I didn't know if they actually managed to refund it. I just hope they did. Because imagine paying for an early access, paying for being a fucking beta tester, the early beta tester, and still don't have access to that. And well, one thing is I me searching test drive unlimited solar crown disaster. If I just put test drive unlimited solar crown, man, the only thing they're talking is just how they really fuck it up. Most of them are Spanish. Charming disaster. It was not what I believe it was. It's just like that. And even this one, I was watching this dude Super GT. The graphics look PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3 over plastified, and it still has game server issues. And I have to also add this shitty product did the same thing as the first group. Charge money because with DLC for a game that is just not going to be not functional anymore once the servers shut down. And I believe this company that did this because they when Atari went broke, they got bought by a Chinese company. I don't know, it was Tencent. And since they fucked that up, you can bet they're going to get shut down. And since the Prime company don't want to waste any more resources into that, they are going to shut down the servers eventually because the cost is still too high. And imagine announcing 6 season passes for a game built about being a live service, and especially a MMO concept, which the MMO doesn't work because all regions are locked. You are in Spain, you are locked. You are in some part of Latin America, you are locked. You can't even play with European people or Asian people if they ever bought the game in the first place. US region lock. So it's hilarious that even not you're not locked even in continents. Your region lock in countries. And if this game didn't sell that well, imagine. Oh, this is the current player versus all around the world. Yeah, where I can see them, motherfucker. Oh man, this fucking company is pulling all the worst fucking decisions ever. Because again, it's the globalist mindset. You will own nothing, you will be happy about it. These these developers they were bought by someone that is publicly traded. And since of course they are going to listen to those investors and want to push for the most greedy and stupid shit that you could ever encounter. And we mentioned those especially because it's the current trend that is actually killing video games. Racing video games are getting killed like this. The group, all the group entrants are example. They are Lloyd services. Gran Turismo, in the life cycle of the PS4, Gran Turismo Sport, it was a Lloyd service, and the way to save face, they just added an arcade mode and an offline mode to save the progress to buy your cars. But certain things like shared libraries, they were gone. So imagine you used to share some paint jobs and some good ones, at least from what I know, because they were sharing some anime related stuff. And well, it's not far away from your online save mode. Despite that you have Forza since the Motorsport 2 and Forza Horizon 5 entry, saving that locally. But well, even if we are going back to Forza Motorsport 7 did the same fucking crap. It's a live service. The career mode is a live service. And they did some of the most stupid decisions, such as imagine this, because what I'm going to tell you is the most retarded stuff that you are going to ever heard when it comes to making gaming design. And even you don't have to be a game developer to figure that out. You imagine you make a progression to unlock performance parts in your car. The way to unlock it was in the past was just playing the game, earning money, and buying them. And eventually, a certain amount of time for every single car. It was like that with Forza was already unlocked at first. You just needed to grant the money. Games like Need for Speed, you just needed to grant the money. And in some parts, you needed to unlock them because it was tied to the progression. But still, it was in a decent amount of time. It didn't waste your time, which is the most important part. It was like that with the Forza Motorsport entries until 7. It is like that in current day with from the first to the last entry of Forza Horizon. What what Motorsport debut built from the knees up that Microsoft pull up with? So they locked the unlocking of parts. They tied it to a time consuming grinding mileage progression type. What I'm saying with this? So in order to unlock every single part, or not all cars, one car, specifically one car, you had to grind mileage. And by that I saying you just needed to drive certain amount of kilometers or mileage or well, excuse me, yeah, you don't like the metric system, but well, I have to clarify that you needed to race for a certain amount of distance to unlock those parts for one car in a roster for at least more than 300 cars. And if that car is not meta, imagine wasting at least 4 hours or your life in one single car that probably you're not going to even use it because the production said, yeah, you need to now use this car. But hey, it's not at the level so I could actually compete and keep progressing. Well, time to grind again. And it's a live service. And it again, oh man, those games is just every single definition in current day of how companies can actually screw that up. How can actually screw up their consumers, their customers, and themselves in the process of just fulfilling these stupid ideas. And even, at least, while I was mentioning the group, I did this search if there was something related, but I couldn't find anymore. So, oh man, I think it was this one. So, Ubisoft The Crew Fiasco is just one example of why we need game preservations and physical media. Well, They did the physical media useless because you still need to update the game or even download the rest of it. For the time being, adding an offline mode should be mandatory for all of this. And they sadly, yeah, consumers keep consuming. It's is one key part. They don't demand for actually preservation. And at this point, if the governments end up stepping up and actually screwing up both sides, I'm not going to care because, again, this issue is just a problem of compliance. You complying with this. I'm not doing that anymore. I mentioned it, the other cruise entries. I'm not buying that shit anymore because it's a lot service. Forza Motorsport. I mentioned you why I don't like that shit, and I didn't have to play. I just had to see that when that progression system was announced, yeah, it was enough for me to say fuck that shit. Now Test Drive Unlimited Solacrum, I saw people playing the beta. I knew what was the road it was heading. But since well, the only way they are going to learn is just stop consuming and give these fucking companies the middle finger because that's the only thing they fucking deserve. And yeah, the group got revived with an offline mode. Data miners and modders revealed that the offline mode was always there. But Ubisoft, of course, they didn't care for actually updating that. Instead, it was easy for them just removing your stuff because, well, they tell you should get used comfortable with not owning your games, but well, they should get comfortable going out of business, being jobless and homeless. That's all I wanted to share here with you. Thanks for watching, and I hope you have a pretty good day.